Okay, guys, my question this week is, of course, having to do with Wes Craven. Obviously, he is a very acclaimed horror director because of certain movies, and I'm asking you, now that you've seen several of both sides of his movies, is do you think that he belongs in, like, the top horror director status? And I'll start with you, Dehart.
I would still say yeah, because there really aren't a whole lot of guys there that are good.
I don't know. I disagree with that. I mean, I think there's quite a few. But
I mean, he did make an impact. I mean, he made a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a reason why there's a dozen of those.
Oh, it's true, but
and the first one was good.
Yeah, it's probably my least favorite of the big five.
Sequels.
Like the big five.
Oh,
like Leatherface, Jason, Michael Myers. You know, I even like Pinhead more than I like Freddy.
There was only one good Hellraiser movie.
But the character I like better than Pinhead.
It's a cool looking character.
Yeah.
it's just a shame.
It's a waste.
It is a waste.
I've heard some people that listen to the podcast say that, oh, well, he does shitty movies now. But Wes Craven, if you look at his filmography...
Ups and downs, man.
Yeah, from the start.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't just... He used to make amazing fucking movies, and now he just does shit. There's always been really terrible fucking movies strewn in there as he went. And that's kind of...
Well,
yeah.
I mean, that's because he continues to work.
Yeah.
You can't always be great.
I have to agree with Steven with the whole... He has way more terrible movies than he has good ones.
Oh, yeah.
But I agree with Dehart that he, for better or worse, whether or not you agree with it or not, he has had a huge impact on the industry as a whole.
Oh, I definitely agree that he has definitely a
so there's
huge
no
impact.
There's no way to like not include him when you're talking about horror movie directors, even if you think that most of his movies suck dick, which everyone does because they do.
Not everyone. Not everyone.
Well, I mean,
a lot of people
some people like Battleship, but
no, I mean, there's a lot of fucking people out there that say Wes Craven
great Wes Craven.
well, he's their favorite horror director. I mean, I put a poll up on Facebook just for see what people's responses were, and there was like 3 or 4 people out of like the 10 or 12 that responded that said Wes Craven was their number one guy.
Well, that proves it.
I guess it's just because we've podcasted so many fucking shitty Wes Craven movies like Swamp Thing or...
Swamp Thing has problems.
Big fat... Alright. What do you think the worst...
Are we getting into Swamp Thing right now?
No, what do you think the worst one he's done is after watching the 2 that we're going to do tonight? Because I think Deadly Friend was worse than both of these movies. No, I take that back. I take that back. Deadly Friend is not worse than Vampire in Brooklyn, but it's definitely worse than Cursed. That's the one with Christy Swanson when she becomes the robot.
I heard you guys on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing the podcast then, so I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's real shitty.
That's the one with the exploding head from the basketball.
From Don't Throw Mama from the Train.
Yeah,
her head explodes.
Just
simply... It's Throw Mama from the Train. Don't throw Mama.
Whatever.
It's like the female version of Don't Wake Daddy. It's just Don't Throw Mama from the Train. The objective is to not throw Mama from the train.
Which is the...
It's so tempting now.
Which is
I know, especially whenever it's the Fratelli Mom.
Which is the spin-off board game to Don't Wake Mark while you put chicken wings on his head while he's asleep.
Yeah, which was a really fun game. But, you know...
And we all won.
Yeah. Everybody won except Mark, which he lost as hard as he could possibly lose.
Okay, so... Welcome to Motion Picture Meltdown. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen the Roast Rosenberg.
Phil the Kill Collins.
And Dehart.
And we are podcasting probably 2 of the shittier Wes Craven movies this week.
Yeah, for sure. And also, as a bonus, maybe the worst Eddie Murphy movie as well.
Yeah, it's... No, Dehart, you disagree?
Still think Pluto
Nash.
Have you ever seen
I have seen it. I have
not seen it, but I can't imagine it's
worse.
I don't know, man.
It's unbelievable how bad it is.
Alright, well, I'm going to reserve judgment still.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I feel like I'll never watch it because
why
would I?
I haven't seen it a lot, probably.
To torture
Have you seen it recently, I guess?
No, it's like I saw it back when I was more of a fan of Eddie Murphy's.
Right.
Because, you know, up to a certain point, he pretty much exclusively made hit movies.
Well, I feel
Except
like
maybe like Vampire in Brooklyn and what's the other one? Harlem Nights? It's like... I don't think that one did very well, but
It was still it was a decent movie.
That
though.
one was never on TV, so I never saw it.
Well, it's because it was really
maybe
racy and extremely vulgar.
Oh, it might be good.
Yeah.
Maybe your love for Eddie Murphy at the time colored your opinion of the movie because you're thinking this has got to be like pretty good. It's got Eddie Murphy in it. No.
Can we let's
Absolutely.
just start with Vampire in Brooklyn then? Can we just?
Well, we probably should. It's the first.
Yeah. Well, start with
And
Vampire in
the worst.
Brooklyn and the worst. Like we said, directed by Wes Craven, starring Eddie Murphy, the incredibly sexy Angela Bassett.
Super
Dude.
hot.
I wish that Angela Bassett was just chocolate fudge that I could melt all over myself like vanilla ice cream.
That doesn't.
Why is it? Chocolate ice cream melts too, buddy. I
don't
why
care.
you'd switch them
I
up.
just want that delicious swirl.
Okay.
I
get you.
So disgusted right now.
I was like, yeah, I'm totally on board for this. Let's talk about how hot Angela Bassett is. And then you're just like, yeah, I just want to slime her all over myself and melt her in a microwave. It's like, I don't think that sounds appealing at all. That sounds awful.
No.
It's like, you can't just make out with her?
I guess we could.
Yeah. I mean, we can't, because she's Angela Bassett. We're just a bunch of assholes.
John Witherspoon is probably the next most notable guy in the movie, playing Silas Green.
He's the funniest part of the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Although they didn't give any funny lines.
No, he's pretty funny in most of the movies that he's in.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked him in Friday.
Yeah. The Ladies' Man. You remember him in that movie?
I don't think I've ever seen The Ladies' Man.
Oh, you gotta check that one out.
Yeah, Ladies' Man is really funny. So good.
Tim Meadows.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to
It's an SNL movie.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the character. I just never saw the movie.
Oh, okay.
It's
There's
definitely,
a
it's
lot
worth
of
it.
SNL movies I haven't seen.
It's not like Superstar. Superstar was the worst.
Yeah.
It was a 2-hour-long Superstar skit. They didn't bother to add in any plot. But anyways, do we want to talk about the plot of this one? Or
Yeah.
Does anybody care?
No,
Okay.
we definitely have to talk about it because it's a Jamaican vampire who...
Hold on.
He's not Jamaican.
No, Jamaican
No.
Islands is where he came from.
No, his line is from Egypt.
Yeah.
And some of them went to the Bermuda Triangle, and the other part of the family went to the Carpathian Mountains. The vampires were familiar with, like Dracula and whatnot.
I thought in the beginning he says that he's from the Jamaican Islands. That's why he has that weird,
He's originally from Africa, and then they went to the Jamaican Islands.
Okay, well, so he's from the Jamaican Islands.
And then the evil white man killed off all of the
vampires.
vampires. How dare they?
Right.
Well, I thought it was the dude, the Van Helsing of this movie, Dr. Zico.
All three of us are just so confused about...
Well, he's...
It doesn't matter where he fucking came from. The point is...
Well, it kind of does because of
It's
his
just
terrible
it's
fucking
just-
accent.
It's just the movie is just coming to America, but if you took out all the comedy and replaced the comedy with bad vampire special effects,
and vampire puns.
yeah,
Oh,
there are a lot of
He
vampire
has a lot
puns.
of, like, action hero style quips.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he
I
doesn't
don't
have a
think-
funny accent. He's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. He can't just get away with that. He basically Jurassic Park 3 or 2. Which one is it where they crash the boat into the
Two.
Okay, yeah. He Jurassic Park 2's his way into Brooklyn
Yep.
because he's all alone now. He's the only vampire left from Jamaica or wherever the fuck he's from,
Mm-hmm.
and he's there to find the half vampire offspring of a vampire and a regular person
Right.
that
He knew.
he knew. I guess the vampire dad got killed, and the regular mom took Angela Bassett back to Brooklyn, which is apparently where you would naturally go. You would go the 4,000-mile boat trip from Jamaica to Brooklyn.
It seems like she would have been in, I don't know, Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someplace anywhere near Jamaica.
Speaking of the boat, how about when Silas Green and the guy who plays Julius Jones, Kadeem Hardison, when they're sitting there watching that fucking, like, movie or whatever the fuck they're watching.
They're watching Family Feud, and
Yeah,
they're
they're
basically
watching-
jerking off to it.
Yeah, but that boat is just crashing through fucking everything in the harbor behind him. They don't notice it.
Dude,
They're too busy
they're-
cackling about the Family Feud.
Their Family Feud was just going on. Must have been just 20,000 decibels loud because they can't hear the fucking destruction of the entire
Yeah.
harbor behind them.
If a boat crashed through another boat, you would hear that from like a really, especially
Much less
if it was
like-
within visual range. You could easily turn around and see it, but no.
They
A
don't
lot
hear
like
it
Jurassic
until
Park.
it busts through the wall.
Yeah.
That's next to the TV. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
It's a great movie trope where it's like oh, there's two guys, and just simply because they're not paying attention, nothing else in the world matters.
Hey,
it doesn't matter if they're about to be eaten by a fucking T-Rex.
You've never been on a hard Family Feud binge.
Yeah. They were really digging that Family Feud.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It was really gross.
They were looking to see what was on the board. Show me vampires!
Yeah, the movie is basically just, essentially, it is the plot of Coming to America. He goes there just so that people won't look at him as a vampire. They'll love him for who he is, not because he's a prince of darkness. Sorry, I wrote that when I had to. But it's seriously true. Like, he literally went there specifically just to mack on Angela Bassett, which is a perfectly good reason.
And basically to repopulate vampires.
The vampires.
Right.
He could turn anyone into a vampire if he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, we don't know if he can do that. That's like, the rules in this are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to at least be half vampire in order to have vampire babies.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, they use the lore from so many different fucking vampire stories that you just don't...
Why do vampires have kids?
If they're dead.
And if they're dead, yeah.
Yeah, it makes no fucking sense. There's no reason why he should have had to go after Angela Bassett, other than the fact that she's super duper hot.
And, well, she's half vampire already.
I just want to know...
why is she half vampire? That
because she's the offspring of... Well, yeah, it doesn't...
It's like, you're half living and you're half dead.
Yeah. Which part of you is alive? That's the part I want to fuck. Okay. I just want to know if you guys know of any vampire lore where the vampire has the ability to explode a dog and turn it into a rocket. Do you guys remember that? Like, what was that? I mean, like, the first power he exhibits, and he's like, oh yeah, I can turn dogs into rocket ships. What of it?
Well, if he were a wolf, he would have been able to control him, but he was a dog, so he had to explode him. So.
Yeah.
You know.
You're not going to get any argument with me with the retardedness of this movie.
He himself, when he leaves the ship, he's transformed into a wolf.
Yeah.
And then he transforms into a black guy with terrible hair.
And a bad accent.
I feel like this would have been a perfect place to put a lot of Soul Glow ads.
Dude, this totally goes on the list of Motion Picture Meltdown terrible hair.
Oh yeah.
Like,
everyone's hair. Everyone in the movie. Even fucking Drake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys notice how much that guy looked like Drake?
Yeah.
I don't know who Drake is.
Well, anyone here that's not 50 didn't even know.
Dude, Eddie Murphy said that he believes the reason people hated this movie so much was simply because of the hair. Like,
is he retarded? I think he might be retarded.
The number one reason that everyone hates this movie is the hair.
Not because he makes a terrible fucking vampire.
Yeah.
He looked crazy. He had a terrible accent, and there weren't any jokes. The funniest guy in the movie is John Witherspoon, and whenever he stumbles across something that's vaguely funny, he says it 5 times.
Yeah.
Because I think in his mind, he's a stand-up in his mind.
Yeah.
Could be. Because he's trying to get a reaction. It's like, I want a reaction that is this big, but I'll only get 1/5 of it. So I'm going to say the same thing 5 times
more
in a row.
Times, yeah. And that will equal what I'm after.
So Angela Bassett and Alan Payne, they play 2 detectives that are basically trying to figure out the murders that are going on because...
Detective Justice.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that Alan Payne plays Detective fucking Justice.
Yeah, about that.
That's like having a firefighter named Chief Flames.
Yeah. Or a fucking criminal lawsuit lawyer, Crooks.
Yeah.
Have you seen those ads around town?
Oh, yeah. Trust Crooks.
Trust Crooks.
Yeah.
For a lawyer. Oh, my God. That is...
What about the guy named Baloney? Or, no, it's Maloney, but it says something on the sign that it, like, rhymes with Baloney or something. And
then there's a guy in Louisville his name's Wessel, but it's real close to Weasel. It's just missing that A. So it's like, Trust Wessel, attorney at law. And it's like, no!
Trust a Wessel. You can trust him.
Let's just get this out of the way. Can we not agree that Louisville, Kentucky has the best cheap lawyers on the planet?
Oh, fucking Ask Gary.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Ask Gary isn't a lawyer, but...
there's Mike the Hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Mike the Hammer? I think so.
Yeah,
there's the Hammer.
The heavy hitter.
Well, that's the same. That's the same
guy. That's the same guy.
Different nickname. The heavy.
So
hitter,
he graduated from being the heavy hitter into the Hammer.
Yeah, next he's just going to be Mjolnir.
Yeah.
And also, there's Julie the Tiger.
Oh my God.
Who has the stock, like, I swear that tiger of special effect came from fucking, that was like the one that came with Blender or whatever.
Dude, I almost got into a fucking wreck because of that special effect on the sign. Dude, I'm not even fucking kidding. You're talking about the one with the really shitty tiger on the sign?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm driving down the fucking road. Me and Brandy are on the interstate, because there's one out on like 264 or whatever. I'm driving down the road, there's construction in the fucking right lane. I'm pointing at this fucking tiger at Randy, and I'm going, look at this shitty-ass fucking tiger. And then I look in front, and like, I'm 20 feet from going straight into the back of this giant spike. And I was like, well...
Well, the back of a spike would probably be pretty blunt.
Well, no. It was the back of a truck that had a spike in it.
Okay.
You know, spike haulers.
So basically what you're saying is they had a special effect from the commercials that was computer-generated tiger.
On the sign.
On the sign, where they could have just gotten a stock photo of a fucking tiger. A real tiger.
Yeah, exactly.
But they didn't want people to get confused and not realize that the branding for the terrible tiger effect was cohesive there.
Maybe they couldn't get the rights to a tiger.
Yeah, they could. It cost $25 on Shutterstock.
Okay, so the first thing that happens is the younger of the two dudes that are working the dock, he runs away whenever the ship comes speed toing.
Yeah,
because that's another movie where that
one goes through the whole fucking city.
Yeah, it goes all the way through the fucking city. That's insane as well. But
I've never seen all of Speed 2. I've only seen the beginning, and I was like, "Oh, Keanu Reeves isn't in this." Next,
we have to watch that. At some point.
Do you want to do Speed and Speed 2 together?
That sounds like a challenge.
Sure.
All right,
Jesus.
but the first thing that happens is he runs away, and apparently he has some dealings with some shady customers, both of which are named Tony.
Yeah.
And one of them is he's from Shocker. He's the character.
The main character, or the bad guy in Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's Shocker, and he's also Mulder's boss. X-Files. That's where most
I forgot
everybody would
about
know
that.
him.
Yeah.
And that's the crime that they're initially investigating. That and the giant boat that's plowed through the city.
Yeah.
Or through the dock, anyway.
Little do they know, one and the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares?
And that's where you see Eddie Murphy's really shitty yellow contacts.
Yeah.
So fucking bad.
Okay,
I mean, they were
basically...
fine for contacts, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they would look good for Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the best contact technology they had at the time.
Yeah.
One of Eddie Murphy's made-up bullshit vampire powers is to force-feed someone his blood, and then they just turn into a fucking corpse. Like, they just slowly melt into nothing.
Yeah.
Which is what he does to Julius Jones, is that his name?
Well, no, he turns him into a ghoul, because, like, in vampire lore, ghouls are like the henchmen of vampires, basically.
Yeah, because
so
you need somebody to do shit during the day.
Like in Fright Night, remember...
Which I
Well,
get,
not
but why
business hours,
does he have
man.
to turn him into a fucking rotting... Like, he's useless. His arms are falling off and shit.
Yeah, I mean...
What terrible fucking henchman.
Oh, yeah,
Just get a new
absolutely. Yeah.
Why would you want any of them? Just hypnotize someone.
No,
Fuck you, one of your other 3,000 powers that allows you to deck out an apartment and perfectly... Like, what were those
Much
powers
like Coming
about?
to America.
Exactly like
I know,
fucking Coming to America.
It was, well, actually the exact opposite of Coming to America, because in Coming to America, he didn't want that.
He wanted the shitty
It's
one.
like, hey, why don't you switch apartments with me?
Mine's
Like,
real shitty.
So good. Let's just review Coming to America again.
Oh my god. Philip.
Okay, so we talked about Julius Jones losing his hand and his arms and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he loses his hand, and that's whatever. But, like, 2 seconds after that, they're driving in the car, and his hand is back, but it's just in pantyhose.
Right.
Which is, it's like they just didn't notice that was in the shot.
And he tried to say it was a, Oh, no,
He
this was
got a
before
dummy
then. Yeah,
he got a dummy hand later, but this
Right.
was literally right after his hand fell off. And he just had a hand. Like, what the fuck? How did that
Wes
happen?
Craven.
How did that get past editing? How did it get past anyone? I fucking noticed it, and I just watched it
For the first
passively, hoping. I was not even really paying attention.
Yeah.
I just got done watching fucking Curse.
Well,
How did no one notice this? It didn't... I don't... Whatever.
I'm surprised you didn't go on about the effect that went on, like, right before this, wherever... Because I know you always talk about, like, the real shitty effects. Whenever it zoomed out or zoomed into Eddie Murphy's really shitty eye, and then there was, like, the sunrise
and it
behind
faded
it.
to the sun. But the sun had no part in, like, the whole... the corresponding next few clips.
Nothing.
I was like, oh, there's the sun, and it's sort of shaped like an eyeball if it was yellow. And now here's the rest of the movie. Whatever.
I guess they were transitioning to it's
daylight?
the next day now. Next day, you just gotta move the story along, gotta keep moving.
But I think the next scene was at night, though.
I mean, it
was
wasn't...
the next night. And I let you know that there was a day in between.
The next scene wasn't at night, because I remember thinking, at least there's got to be some kind of correlation. But it was like they could have picked a shot of the sun where it wasn't just like clearly in a completely different location and everything.
Just an African savanna.
Yeah, it literally looked like that. I'm thinking maybe he had the fake hand in the driving scene right after that. Maybe they like cut it from a different part and put it in there.
Maybe.
But still, you fucked up real bad.
Yeah.
That's like editing that somebody should have fucking noticed that.
Okay.
Well,
Like,
there's supposed to be
this
somebody
movie
works
probably cost millions of dollars to make.
$35 million.
Yeah.
And
Why did this cost $35 million? Where do they pour this money
Eddie
out?
Murphy.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it grossed
it,
$19 million. Like it made a little over half its budget back.
It didn't even deserve to make that much.
Dude, Eddie Murphy, at least on the trivia, it says that Eddie Murphy literally only did this movie to get Paramount to release the rights to the Nutty Professor.
What does that mean exactly? Like they had already made the Nutty Professor one? And...
Well, they had the rights to the first Nutty Professor name, because they were the ones that did the movie, so they had the rights to the movie.
I didn't realize it had come out that early.
This was like a long fucking time ago.
He's talking about the original.
The original Nutty Professor
the original
movie.
Nutty Professor, and he wanted to do the remake,
which he wrote. He wrote the remake, and I think he may have directed.
I forgot there was even an original because of how badly Eddie Murphy fucked those movies.
Well,
like so bad,
so bad. And so he wanted the rights to that. So he made a deal with Paramount that said, "I will do this shitty Wes Craven Vampire in Brooklyn movie if you allow me to get the rights to Nutty Professor."
What
so they made that deal.
Who was like, you know what? We need to sell Eddie Murphy these rights because we just gotta make Vampire in Brooklyn. It's gonna be a total.
The thing
fucking
is
hit.
it probably was already in production, and they probably had to cut a bunch of actors. Like Wes Craven is notoriously known for doing that. Like he'll start a fucking movie, and then problems will go down with actors, with money, stuff like that, and they will just stop production for almost like a year even. And they have to cut all the fucking original actors out of that movie and bring a bunch of fucking new actors in. And
then it's a wonder anything is consistent in the movie, I guess.
Yeah. I think that may have happened with one of the movies we watched. I think that happened with Cursed. I think James Brolin and a bunch of other people, Skeet Ulrich, a bunch of other people were going to be in the movie, and they stopped filming it 3/4 in the movie and waited almost like 9 months.
I'm fine with him not being in that movie.
Well,
I don't need to see any more Skeet Ulrich.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that he was one of the main.
Loss.
I'm just saying he was one of the main actors in that movie, and they had to cut his part completely.
Let's get back on track. One of the abilities that you get from being a half vampire, which is something that should never have existed anyway, is that you can see the future through nightmares that you have
and paint them.
You know that's going to happen. Yeah, and then you have the ability to paint them.
Of course, she's going to have nightmares because she's in a Wes Craven movie.
Yeah, she's not allowed to not have. She's contractually obligated to have nightmares.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she has nightmares that foretell all kinds of things happening. One of which is that her extremely thirsty roommate is going to be crucified.
So thirsty.
Just walks out onto the street chasing after one guy who clearly has no fucking interest in you, and then just turn around and see another random guy on the street and be like, "Oh, you want to get your dick sucked?"
Dude, at that point, I was like almost thinking that Eddie Murphy was hypnotizing her, and then I was like, no, she just wants that dick.
Yeah, real bad. And of course, she gets it.
Yeah, and then apparently the entire fucking room filled up with blood because there was blood
coming
seeping
out of the fucking keyholes.
keyholes.
How did that happen? I thought that same thing. I was like, okay, so he just murdered her so hard that pressurized blood squirted through. Like he just has perfect blood aim.
Fucking bullshit.
Another thing that I thought was completely unnecessary and was another thing that ruined the movie for me was that fucking Eddie Murphy narrates the whole movie.
Oh yeah.
Like as it's happening. Like who is he fucking narrating to?
No idea.
What was that about? Like why did I knew what was happening. He didn't need to be like, and so I returned to her apartment the next day so that she could get the D. The vampire D. Hunter D.
And, you know, we really didn't even need the explanation that there could be a vampire colony fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Who cares?
We don't need the explanation that, that we're from Egypt and we have a long line that's...
So there's no other
We've gone to the Bermuda Triangle.
Well, that's why people disappear in the Bermuda Triangle.
Because of vampires.
They get eaten by
There you go.
vampires.
That's what happens.
Explanation.
Although vampires can't cross water.
I'm so fucking sick.
Well, not unless they're on
boat.
they're in their soil. That's why that's the
Bromsugers.
Yeah. Well, that's their rules. I don't know what his rules.
Well, this
is.
one took
These rules don't matter
more.
because they just add in whatever the fuck they need to continue the plot along.
Yeah.
He can just make his apartment not shitty by just. He literally says he used his Dracula or his vampire magic to make the apartment good, and it's like what?
So maybe none of that shit's real. It's just implanted in our mind that this is all this elaborate illusion.
Right, but he could have said that. He literally says he used his magic to make the apartment not suck. And then once he's gone, the apartment returns to its formerly terrible state.
Well, it fucking exploded.
He exploded, I mean.
Everything exploded.
Right, but it just returned
and the fucking earth shook.
And apparently, in order to be a vampire, you don't need to be bitten by a vampire. You don't need to have been a vampire or been the offspring, apparently, of a vampire. All you need is just Eddie Murphy's poor jewelry, and then you just put that on and you're a vampire king.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they don't talk about that ring at all in the movie.
No.
Not even for one fucking
That's
second.
just in the ending scene.
And he just puts it on, and it's like, oh, well, just in case we want to do vampires in Brooklyn, too!
Did you guys notice that part where Eddie Murphy is picking his teeth?
And he pulls a fucking ear out of his mouth?
Well, he pulls out like an entire chunk of
It was
flesh.
it's like a chunk.
I thought it was an ear, but either way...
It was like the size of a piece of cake.
The ear was earlier. It fell off Julius.
Yeah.
Well, either way. Maybe that's what
He's
made
like
me
got a
think it was an
toothpick
ear.
and he's
Julius
picking
the
his tooth.
He's picking his tooth with a sharp fingernail.
Fingernail, that's right. And then
But-
a piece of cake-sized chunk comes out of his mouth.
Yeah. It's that kind of gag was supposed to be funny, but we don't know that because there's nothing else funny in the movie. It's like, that would have been funny if this was like Hot Shots Part 3.
That's what I'm saying.
The
Like, Wes
Vampire
Craven
Awakening.
doesn't fucking do movies like that. Like, he doesn't do Dracula Dead and Loving It. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Which is why it being produced and starring Eddie Murphy made it just confused and awful.
One thing we haven't really mentioned is the Dr. Zico character, who was the Van Helsing of the
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, Black Van Helsing.
Yeah, pretty much. And
Blaine
he's
Helsing.
from Serpent and the Rainbow.
Okay.
So his role is really not nearly as big as it should have been, I think.
No.
Because I think he's one of the
Better actors.
better actors in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. He, his scene, he had like 2 scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah, I know.
It was very small.
And they were really bad, and he failed to even attempt to stab Dracula.
He stabbed him in the
vampire.
stomach. Like, how are you Van Helsing and you fucking...
You missed completely. And that was another thing. That was another one of those things where it was like, yeah, that would have been a funny gag for Eddie Murphy to point that out. Like, oh, you fucking moron! Like, you clearly missed me. Like, you could have killed me just now, and you just.
But it just
up.
happened to be at a super intense part of the movie when it's not supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
at
right.
all.
That's what I mean. Like, you put 5 gags in a movie that's generally taking itself seriously, and it's just fucking stupid.
And even that would have worked if they would have written it in a funny way.
Right.
Yeah.
He just literally says, "Oh, well, that's not going to work. You stabbed me in the stomach, dum dum."
Yeah.
And if you would have said "dum dum," that would have been funnier.
Yeah.
The dial.
Still would have been funny.
Who says "dum dum"?
Well, it doesn't matter because any of the dialogue in this movie was just shit. All of it was
Tell me
fucking
you wouldn't lose
shit.
your shit though if a vampire said "dum dum."
Yes, I would lose my shit, especially if it was Eddie Murphy vampire. I strongly believe this movie killed Eddie Murphy's career. He fucking killed it.
No, I mean he had the Nutty Professor
No, I
movies
mean,
after this.
killed his career as far as being a good actor. I don't mean as being a successfully financial actor. I mean,
well, he even had he won a fucking award after this. What was it? Was it an Academy Award
for Norbit.
Not that one. We mentioned it the last time we were talking about. Oh, Eddie Murphy, bad. Bad Eddie Murphy. What
Bad Eddie
happened to
Murphy.
ya? I don't remember what.
Oh, he got nominated for an award for best supporting actor. Yeah, you are right.
in
A
like
few
some kind
years
of
ago.
singing movie.
It was like a serious, like more independent type.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So
But-
what you're saying is Eddie Murphy could be a good actor, comedian or otherwise, but he just chooses not to.
Oh no, I talked about this in the Eddie Murphy podcast. I said he's just fucking with the world.
Yeah.
Well, he's making movies for his kids.
Right.
His kids have
But-
horrible taste.
But your statement of that he killed his career is basically not true. I mean, he
Yeah,
has a huge career. It's just shit that nobody likes.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
well,
his
that-
bank account would beg to differ with you.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing is like, how fucking old are his kids now? He's
I
been
have
making
no idea.
He's been making movies for his kids for like 20 goddamn years.
And why would you just continuously make only movies for your kids anyway?
Well, now that they're adults, he's going to start making adult movies for them.
Yeah.
And it's going to be weird.
It's gonna be like, yeah, did you see that new movie where I banged that chick?
I guess this is so confusing because it was right in kind of the midst of pretty good Eddie Murphy movies. Like, Beverly Hills Cop 3 was right around here. Metro was right around this time. Life was right around this time. Bowfinger was right around this time. The fact that this just came out of nowhere...
This is a low that's in the neighborhood of mids. You know?
Yeah.
It's still a ways off from, like a...
Coming to America.
Coming to America.
Right.
Like the stuff that we love.
Golden Child, right.
And the stuff that younger people love, which is The Nutty Professor.
And Dr. Dolittle.
And, yeah, the first one at least.
All 5 of them.
How many are there?
There's
Too
a
many.
shitload.
Too fucking many.
Well,
I know there's at least 2 with him in
Ball
it.
gets a paycheck.
Yeah.
You know? This also had the crazy lady from People Under the Stairs as a crazy lady in a police station.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And let's see.
Oh, we didn't talk about Whiteface
Oh,
at all.
Oh yeah, but it's because it hardly works into the fucking movie.
Well, I mean, it's
only there so you can do it.
No, well, yeah, it's only there can you do it. I mean, he uses it to piss off Angela Bassett a little bit, but, I mean, and get her pissed at the other cop. But
Yeah.
that is one of the shittiest white faces I've ever seen. Like,
it was really bad. It was like in certain parts, it's like they didn't put even all the makeup on.
no, it was fucking awful, dude.
It was just like Revitalago.
Yeah, yeah, like, oh, so bad.
Which I always say Revitalago because that's the Boondocks version where you're white originally and you turn black,
Dude.
instead of just regular Vitiligo, which is what Michael Jackson had.
Okay.
That whole part was just fucking terrible. He's just in the Italian restaurant, and he's just like, and fuck this garlic, too! He just, like, hits the garlic away, and he's like,
Oh,
waiter,
God.
get the garlic bread out of my
And
fucking
there's,
face!
and there's a super like beautiful luxurious cat, and he just blows a shit out of it with a fucking
Oh,
huge
yeah.
gun. It's like, well, any part like, oh, there's a cat. I'm suddenly interested in the movie again. Nope, you killed it. Never mind.
No need to explode that cat.
None. I really like cats.
It's so fucking stupid. This whole
Yeah.
entire movie is dick.
And then, right after that scene, after Angela Bassett saves the day by whooping his ass with a wine bottle, even though he could have easily won because he was the vampire, but
Right.
she doesn't know that. But anyways, her partner's like yelling at her for diffusing the situation by whipping that guy's ass. It's like, no, you should have just did what he said and let him take you hostage. It's like, okay. Well, I had a different plan that didn't involve me being kidnapped.
Right.
Just,
That worked.
yeah, it was easy. I just took the
You could
wine
have been
bottle.
shot when you should have been kidnapped. Okay, let's just move on.
So she
Is there anything else?
The
really?
mask at the end, the vampire mask, which was just
Eddie
the
Murphy's
Wishmaster mask.
Wishmaster face, yeah.
Wishmeyer.
Wishmaster makeup on Eddie Murphy.
On Eddie Murphy, literally that's what it was.
It looked so fucking bad. It also looked like Ghost of Mars, John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars makeup, except less behemoth-y. Like the metal band.
Which, Ghost of Mars, still better than this movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though I fucking hate Ghost of Mars.
Ghost of Mars is way fucking better.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as
That's
to say
probably
fucking
like
hate.
that's low point and what I consider a very high career.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like most of his movies I love.
Yeah.
The fact that whenever it comes to John Carpenter, he made The Thing, so it doesn't fucking matter what else
Well,
he made.
not just a thing, but you can throw Big Trouble in
Well,
Little
no, I mean,
China
there's
and
like
Halloween
he's
also.
he's made
Yeah.
like 15 movies that are really good, but I'm just saying, like, if he made 1,000 movies and they all sucked and he made The Thing, it would still be amazing,
Yeah.
an amazing career.
Yeah.
Because that movie was just that fucking good.
It's my favorite movie.
Well, yeah, it's really awesome. And,
It's definitely my favorite horror movie.
and the thing is, not the thing, but the thing about
the thing is,
the thing about Wes Craven
good.
is everybody chalks his best movie up to being Nightmare on Elm Street, pretty much. Granted, I think that he has better movies than that personally.
I tend to lean towards Surfing the Rainbow.
Oh yeah,
Which even itself, it still has some problems.
no, I agree, but and even personally, I think maybe because of when I grew up, the time period I grew up in, I prefer Scream, the original Scream, to Nightmare on Elm Street. Also,
I'm gonna have to go with Zombie Strippers, even though I'm not even sure that was Wes Craven.
that was not Wes Craven.
That
at
may
all.
as well have been.
The Serpent in the Rainbow and also People Under the Stairs, I enjoyed that one too.
Yeah, it's like I liked Scream when I was younger until I realized, oh, he didn't do anything new in it.
No, he didn't. It was
He just told you what he was doing as he was doing it.
It was a big
Only-
movie. It was a big movie as I was growing up because it was very protected against in theaters and stuff like that. Like it was one of the, I want to say one of the first like NC-17 movies to come to theaters.
Was that NC-17?
Oh yeah, they changed it like a few weeks after it came out. But yeah, it was because my brother couldn't even fucking. The point I'm trying to make is Wes Craven's best movies aren't even that good. Like they're okay, they're decent, but there's nothing in his repertoire that I'm just like, that movie is fucking amazing.
And that's not why he gets lots of accolades, though. I don't think anybody's walking around saying he's like an amazing director. I think it's just that his work is really accessible to stupid people, like Scream. I mean, that's an important thing for. I mean, it's not the only thing, but generally, if you want to be successful in anything, you have to appeal to the mass public who are just generally retarded.
Yeah, I one of the things that has secured his place in the horror kind of community is him saying how great he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a really good self-promoter.
I mean, you saw, was it New Nightmare?
Yeah.
The one where Freddy comes out of the movie world and into the real world.
Right.
He's in that movie basically saying, like, yeah, when somebody makes a grand enough work, the spirits can attach themselves to it, and, it's just because it's so powerful. It's so powerful that it became real. and I guess it's just... It's my cross to bear that I've unleashed a terrible horror on the world.
Yeah, he's pretty much saying, damn, if I was just not so awesome.
If I were not so good.
What we're saying is that Wes Craven has basically just written an instruction manual to horror for retards.
I'm not disagreeing with that statement. Okay, I think we can move on to Quaist.
Yeah, let's move on to Cursed. Let's do it.
Okay.
Cursed, rock and roll!
Starring Jesse Eisenberg and Christina Ricci, as well as
Portia de Rossi from Arrested Development, as well as Judy Greer from Arrested Development.
Yep.
And Scott Baio, who's on Arrested.
Baio, yeah. Joshua Jackson, who was in The Mighty Ducks, as well as he's in Fringe also.
Yeah, I just call him Mighty Ducks.
And fucking Nick Offerman played the goddamn police officer.
Yeah.
Ron Swanson played the fucking police officer that you see for 1 second in the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, best actor in the movie.
Not Jesse Eisenberg, who's made like Academy Award winning movies.
Who gives a shit about that movie?
Hey.
I don't necessarily care. I'm just saying it won an award.
You know Jesse Eisenberg is playing Lex Luthor and then in the next...
Not impressed.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you knew. I wanted your feedback on that.
Yeah,
he just wanted to see how pissed you were.
It's like, well, I'm still not going to watch it. It's like, I wasn't going to watch it before, so I don't give a shit what they do with it.
Well, something that Dehart pointed out to me earlier was that Jesse Eisenberg and Michael Cera are basically the same guy.
Well, apparently
one is just long hair version of the other one.
They both play like bumbling nerds very well.
Apparently they get confused for each other.
Really?
I think that's the reason why Jesse Eisenberg is in this movie. It's like he wanted Michael Cera and didn't know who the fuck he was.
It was like, what's that guy's name? It's like,
in fact, they got everybody else from Arrested Development.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I can see that.
So, the plot.
I just want to go ahead on record and say this is one of the shittiest werewolf movies that I've ever seen.
There's a lot of shitty werewolf movies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close to as bad as Werewolf in Paris.
But did you notice that they pretty much used the exact same fucking terrible CGI werewolf design?
Oh.
And the exact same shitty, terrible werewolf, voice transformation?
What about the were-dog? Well, yeah, but it's just a standard shitty voice transformation.
Yeah, I'd say most of the effects are off the rack. You know?
Yeah.
They weren't designed
pretty
for this
standard
movie.
shit. Nothing really impressive as far as special effects actually at all in this movie.
No.
That I can think of. Except for that they got a lot of really good prop replicas from classic horror films.
Yeah.
Which I guess is okay. That's pretty cool.
The set design was decent. That's what you... yeah, I think that's where you're going with that.
So this movie starts off with Portia de Rossi as a gypsy, warning someone about the moon.
White woman as a gypsy. Go on.
Yeah. She's warning someone about the moon, and there's a shitty cover band that looks with a lead singer who looks like Tim Heidecker. which is fucking gross.
I was wondering who that guy was. I was like, that is somebody I know. I know
don't
it isn't him. But
It's not him, but it looks so much like him.
Not to mention the really terrible editing of the song that doesn't match up with the words that the guy is singing, where they clearly just fucking
threw a song in there.
Yeah.
You throw a song in after you know. After you get the rights.
Yeah.
That's really not the worst one I've seen, though. I've seen worse.
Oh, I have too. Oh, and the girl that Portia de Rossi's talking to is Shannon Elizabeth, by the way. That's the hot chick from American Pie.
Oh, okay.
She was in the remake of Night of the Demons, too.
Well, it doesn't matter, because they both get killed really quick. Both her and her friend.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah. They, for whatever reason, after the gypsy talks to him, the one girl just fucking vanishes.
Yeah.
She was like, well, you said I'm going to die, so I'm going to run out of this carnival immediately, leave your ass behind, you can just fucking find a ride home, bitch, even though you're apparently my best friend, and then proceed to get into an extremely horrible car accident with Christina Ricci.
And Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
And their dog.
And their dog.
Yep.
Zipper. who later becomes the worst CGI were-dog I've ever fucking seen.
Were-dog!
It's a were-dog, Steven. Wes Craven gets to make up his own kinds of things. Like vampires that fucking have magical apartments.
Wait, can we just... There's one thing I forgot to mention, and I'm sorry that we have to go back, but whenever...
We're going back.
I know, I have to this part because I just want to know. Whenever Eddie Murphy started flying... And he just started flapping his cape? He put his hands in his trench coat pockets and started flapping them.
Yeah.
I was just like...
That was, once again, Eddie Murphy doing, like, physical comedy.
Yeah.
Like, but it doesn't work with the rest of the movie. It's like, what? He's being silly right now, and he's being super serious 2 fucking seconds ago.
Well, when he's doing it, you feel like he's being serious, and you feel like that's how it was supposed to be directed. Like he's like...
It's like, yes, watch how I can fly with my cape.
Okay, I'm sorry. We can go back.
Okay.
I just had to mention that.
So, after they get into the car accident, Jesse Eisenberg frees the dumb winch from the carnival from her seatbelt and her crushed dashboard, and starts to pull her out, and then she gets sucked back by the werewolf in what is the only good part of the movie. It was like pretty good jump scare there.
Yeah.
I thought. Because I was like not really expecting it at that second. Like I knew it was coming soon to a theater near me, but it didn't. I had no clue. It was in the middle of her sentence, and she just gets sucked out of the car, and he grabs hold of her, and it's a Lon Chaney situation. He gets scratched, and she gets scratched by the vampire.
I don't remember seeing them get scratched.
I remember him getting scratched, but she was holding onto his legs, which begs the question: how long are this werewolf's arms that it can eat somebody, scratch one person who is a full body length behind that person, and then scratch a third person who is another full body length behind that person?
And then the dog somehow got infected because it bit him. And he was
post-werewolf infection.
Yeah, well, it got a little bit of his blood in his mouth.
From the bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. I'm not arguing with you.
But we completely skipped Jesse Eisenberg's introduction to the movie. Where he
just gets continuously called a fag by Peter
Petrelli. I wrote down some of this shit because I don't know if
Peter
it's
Petrelli.
Like, it's so
From
fucking
Heroes.
bizarre. I don't know who speaks like this at all. Geek on his way to Fagtown. Ass wimpwad for no reason.
Yeah, because he tells him, "Oh, well, if you're not gay, you're just an ass wimpwad for no reason."
First of all, what?
Yeah. So he's hitting on this girl that doesn't give 2 shits about him, and he's got his dog, and then her boyfriend comes up, and he's a super douche, and these are the lines that he reads.
He wasn't even really hitting on her, though. He was just kind of...
He was speaking to her. For a guy like that, that's hitting on her.
Okay.
Well, it was basically... It was a super, super stereotypical thing where the guy sits behind you for 15 of your classes in high school.
And you never
have no
notice him.
fucking clue even existed, even though he was like 2 centimeters
Does
away,
that happen?
breathing heavily.
Does that happen?
Well, it depends. If you go to a school where there's 20,000 students in your class, then yeah, it could probably fucking happen.
20,000 students.
It's probably an exaggeration.
I'll
Giant, like, Guantanamo Bay of high schools.
Yeah. Entire fucking football stadium in your goddamn high school.
But there are high schools where there's like thousands of people in individual graduating classes. I'm just saying. And I feel like at that point you could not know someone who's in your class that just continuously mouth breathes around you.
It was in Hollywood too, so there's probably
a lot of people there.
And
but either way.
And his sister is Christina Ricci, who is dating Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has a nightclub, which is like Rosenberg's wet dream to own. It's like fucking Waxworks. It's that movie.
Yeah.
It's Waxworks.
Yep.
The nightclub.
They've got a perfect, like, Lon Chaney replica staff with silver handle, complete with sterling silver.
They even had Wes
Why
Craven.
does he have that?
I don't know.
Okay. As always, we're going to spoil this, right?
Yeah, let's fucking spoil it.
It's like, did you not know immediately? Did you not know immediately the second you saw that motherfucker?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you did. And of course, he picks up the thing, which the only thing you would ever touch if you were to pick that up would be the silver parts. You'd be like, oh, look how badass this is. But he doesn't go anywhere near it, of course.
He just touches the wood
He's
parts
allergic to
very
it.
daintily. Puts it back.
Yeah.
There was actually some Wes Craven, like, waxwork in that nightclub, too.
Which isn't surprising,
Yeah,
of
they,
course.
you know. It was
And there
some
was a
stuff
Hall
from-
of Mirrors,
He
which
would
is
never
like...
self-promote. I don't believe
Yeah,
it.
and of course it was stuff from New Nightmare, too.
I think this would be a fun nightclub for like 5 seconds until you realize, like, oh shit, half my fucking clients are lost in this mirror maze and can't even get a fucking beer. Ignorant.
And if you don't know who Christina Ricci is, she was most famous probably for...
Casper?
Well, I'd say Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family movies.
Yeah, doing, like,
I think
kids
she...
spooky.
Yeah,
Right, but
and Black Snake Moan,
she
too.
had... Yeah, I think her first like lead role, where she was like the main character, was Casper. Or at least that's my opinion.
Yeah, probably.
That's why I always remember her from that, because she had way more dialogue than as Wednesday Addams.
Yeah. Even though Wednesday Addams was really cool.
Way better.
But Christina Ricci is like Mark's wet dream, too, by the way. Like,
I mean, I thought she was cute whenever I was a kid.
Well, I
And
think she's
saw-
still pretty hot, but Mark just, like, sits at home and beats off to her in the shower.
God, Mark, I'm so glad he's not on the podcast right now, so you just make fun of him so hard for loving Christina Ricci.
You know what? This movie has really pointed out something to me.
I hope you say just, Wes Craven
No.
sucks.
No, a car wreck is it's a cheap pop.
Yeah.
It is so fucking cheap because you will always, it's like, fuck! Because no one likes to be in a car wreck.
No, especially one that's just flipping through the fucking woods.
And it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And every moviegoer on the fucking planet has fucking PTSD from all the thousands of car wrecks they've virtually been in from seeing movies, and you're just, the whole time you're watching any movie, if they're in a car, you're just sitting there thinking, any fucking second now they're going to get into a wreck.
Yep, truck's going to hit them on the
Eyes
side.
on the road! Eyes on the road!
Yeah.
But they never have their
How many
eyes on
times
the
do you
road.
say that when you're watching a movie?
So many times. Fucking paparazzi knew that shit was coming. What was that movie? That really terrible, like, supernatural movie where people were just getting pulled into the air out of nowhere.
Oh, the Forgotten.
Yeah,
the Forgotten. Yeah.
The fucking car accident in that one.
shitty.
Another jump scare. It's like, yeah, you're right. It's the cheapest fucking thing that they're just like, you know what? Plug a fucking car accident right here.
Right.
We have
Because
to.
that puts somebody, they're out in the open and they're exposed.
Yeah,
Well,
and they have no way of contacting anyone because, of course, they're in the remote part of that particular 1,000 cars a day highway.
Okay, after they get home,
The dogs.
Eisenberg immediately figures out,
He's a werewolf.
I'm a werewolf.
Immediately.
I
He
know
goes to
it.
fucking-
I'm going to go on the internet and verify.
Yeah, get on
And he goes
werewolf.com.
He gets on the fakest internet.
Well, when was this movie made? 2005?
2005.
Yeah, that was the fakest internet. Because, well...
It's like, I've seen pretty bad. What was the name
There
of the
was
fucking
plenty
movie?
of fucking
Do you know
internet in
what? Do you know what it
2005.
is? Do you know what it is? It's the fucking sound effects that they insist on putting on every time you click on anything on a computer in movies. It's like, oh, every time I click on this link. It's like, no, there's no fucking. That would be the most annoying internet experience ever. You would immediately quit the internet. You would call up Insight and tell them to go fuck themselves, and then just never click on anything again.
Oh my
Why?
God.
Why does that have to happen? We know what it's like to use a computer. We all fucking do it all the time.
It was like he had fucking werewolf.com bookmarked on his computer.
It's like, it's like, I know this is going to happen someday.
He clearly need this. Yeah, and also, have you ever looked for something that was like not common? And it's like, yeah, what we'll do is we'll look for werewolf-related accidents in L.A. Okay, well I searched that, and then he finds missing, like a list of missing people that are werewolf-related in like 2 fucking seconds.
Oh no, those are unexplained. Unexplained.
But it was on the werewolf
But it's
website.
Exactly.
Yeah, what the fuck?
But
Who runs that website? Please tell.
Wes Craven.
I bet fucking Mighty Ducks does.
Oh yeah.
He's self-promoting.
Yeah, he is. And also...
That's how you get somewhere in Hollywood. You self-promote.
Yeah. Take a cue from Mighty Ducks and Wes Craven.
Yeah, exactly. And did you notice that they have, like, a werewolf cuckoo clock in their house?
Yeah!
No,
it was a Little Red Riding Hood cuckoo clock.
But, yeah, the wolf comes out, and he's like, ah!
I mean, splitting hairs, though.
Cuckoo! Cuckoo!
I didn't notice that.
You didn't notice that?
No, I must not been looking at that.
The werewolf pops out where you would normally have just a completely innocent-looking bird.
Okay.
And so it's a werewolf instead, and it's jumping after Little Red Riding Hood, who's also part of the clock.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a cool clock, but it's like, why the fuck would they have that? It's like in Hook whenever everything is pirate themed. It's like, oh, do you want some pirate themed pajamas and some pirate shaped cookies?
In your pirate ship cup?
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to be foreshadowing for people that can't follow the Vegas
What's happening?
idea.
It's like, yeah, we don't need a fucking werewolf vampire clock.
Instruction.
Vampire clock.
Instruction manual for retards.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. It's like, okay, so the first note I have from this movie, we want to talk about the movie plot, just let's get it out of the way really, really fast. Basically, Jesse Eisenberg and Christina Ricci both become vampires werewolves because they got bitten by a werewolf. Doesn't matter. They got bitten by a werewolf, so Jesse Eisenberg splits off and does his own Teen Wolf 2 version of this movie.
It's totally Teen
Wolf. I was going to say the exact same thing. Like, they took from so many different werewolf movies in this.
Dude, it's like it's almost exactly the same. I mean, they switched boxing to wrestling.
Yeah. Speaking of the wrestling, I'm glad that everybody just stood there. Firstly, while he's wrestling this bully or whatever, who obviously he's going to inevitably wrestle and just know how to wrestle because he's a nerd.
Well, it's not even regular. It's not high school wrestling. It's fucking WWF shit.
That's what I was going to get to. Like, first of all the teachers and coaches and shit are just standing there whenever they're wrestling, and his other dude's just like, I'm going to fuck this guy up.
He grabs someone by the head, and he throws him, and he spins. He's fucking barrel rolling.
Oh, I know.
In the air.
Yep.
You cannot do that.
Well, I mean, even if you could, that wouldn't be legal for high school wrestling.
You would totally get disqualified.
It's like, yeah, you're a really good wrestler. You're on the team now, Jesse Eisenberg. Or wait,
like,
maybe we shouldn't. Maybe you should just die.
And then he just straight does the Bill Goldberg jackhammer to him next after that. And you're just like, what the fuck?
You know what the best part is about being a fairy? Being able to fly. And then he proceeds to fucking jackhammer him. What? And of course, in true to form, the guy that was making fun of him for being gay, or for accusing him of being gay repeatedly and calling him a fairy,
gay.
He was super, super gay.
Yeah.
And he's super turned on to him, too, because he's a werewolf. And
he's super,
like,
got magical allure.
So, during kind of like when that's going on, the werewolf, who you don't know who it is at this point, is like just slaughtering people all over the city. And he goes after one of the other women. I think it was the chick that was with Shannon Elizabeth in the beginning, like her quote-unquote best friend.
Her friend who couldn't be bothered to stick around.
Yeah. But that bitch certainly knows how to fucking, like, splinter cell her way across cars and shit. Like,
she evaded the werewolf for so long. That was so unexpected. I was like, this bitch is dead in 2 fucking seconds.
And it was inexplicable, too, because she's like I said, just straight fucking Jack Ryan this shit.
She's clinging to the side of a car, like, invisible and soundless, so that a werewolf can't get her.
But then she gets herself locked into this fucking elevator, which obviously the werewolf cannot fucking get into because there's like a shoebox size hole where he's like reaching his arm and can't get in. So, what is the oldest trick in the book? Can I just ask you guys? Oh, I'm leaving now. Hope nobody hears me leave.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm definitely out of the room now. You can come out whenever you want. It's like, so dumb.
And so, of course, she goes to the door.
It's not like she's like portraying the smartest person ever. Yeah. But she's at least been able to avoid the werewolf this far, which is actually a crazy accomplishment.
Also,
she escapes the parking garage, which is insane. How did she get out of there?
Also, why couldn't this werewolf pry open these fucking elevator doors and get in there? But she just walks up to him and is just like prying them, and then
maybe they were lying with silver.
Oh, maybe,
don't know.
Or maybe not.
Just the most expensive elevator ever.
Probably not. But we don't know.
Fuck this.
They were definitely silver colored. They were chrome.
Silver colored. God damn it.
God.
Okay.
Or aluminum, maybe.
Take a break real fast to talk about the unexplainable like jumping in of music at random times. The first time,
terrible music.
Yeah, very bad. Like John Carpenter would shit on this music. That's how shitty it is.
I like John Carpenter.
I do too.
But it's very cheesy,
yeah.
and this is like we wish we were John Carpenter's cheesy
now
keyboard
I just got
music.
like Big Trouble in Little China stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Bang,
Bam,
bang,
bam,
bang,
bam. But anyways, okay. So Jesse Eisenberg wakes up naked in another werewolf trope outside.
Always.
And he hasn't even turned into a werewolf yet.
Nope.
That doesn't make sense. Like, he just literally got naked and climbed out of the
He just
window.
does that every night.
Yeah. I mean, which is fine because he just tells Christine, he's like, oh, I was outside in the bushes. That's where I woke up. It's like, okay.
That's why the neighbor
normal.
wasn't surprised at all.
Yeah. Also, they play this really intense music whenever he realizes that his dick is hanging out. It's like the music was written for like somebody just got snatched up by a werewolf, and they play it for oh shit, my dick just got seen.
Wes Craven's going over the editing process of the movie and stuff, and like the final cut, and he's like, and cue dick hangout music now.
Bum bum.
That's the horror of the scene.
Jesse Eisenberg's cock.
It's like you don't want to be outside with your dick out.
Donkey.
That's like
according to Philip.
Rule number 1 about having a dick is don't be outside with it. Not with it exposed.
Yeah.
Rule number 1 about having a dick.
It's almost exact.
Not just don't piss on everything.
It's almost the exact same rules of having a mogwai. Can't take it out in sunlight.
Don't feed it up to midnight.
Yeah. Never feed it. Your asshole will choke. I'm assuming it's going to feed your asshole like a fucking elephant.
Yeah.
Wow.
And never get it wet?
Wear a condom. If you are going to get it wet, wear a condom.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Mogwai dick.
That's a really disturbing theory of owning a penis, and I
don't like it either.
Yeah, not at all. Another really good line from the movie whenever the assistant, I don't even remember what his name was, but he was just a random office guy that was friends with Christina Ricci. And he said that...
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
He said that Portia de Rossi was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. What the fuck? And she accepted it as a perfectly normal, like, colloquialism. Like, we normally just say that.
You wouldn't?
No.
If I told you someone was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, you wouldn't know what the fuck I was talking about?
I think you would just tell me that they were fucking insane.
Alright, fair enough. But, why does she work at Craig Kilborn?
I don't know.
Does Wes Craven know Craig Kilborn, like, really well?
I don't know. I mean, that part of the movie has nothing to do with the movie.
I kept thinking it's going to be Craig Kilborn. He's going to be the ultimate werewolf or whatever.
That would have been okay. But
why else have him in the like? Why else?
I think
she could have worked anywhere. It doesn't matter.
I think the only reason they had him in there was so they could introduce B-level celebrities.
Yeah.
That's why.
And there was a lot of them. Yeah.
Scott Baio.
Lance Bass.
Yeah, Lance Bass is in there.
That's the only reason Scott Baio is in this movie, to be a B-level celebrity that Craig Kilborn is going to throw off the fucking show.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say, as much as I've been bitching about this movie, I was actually not hating it that much until we got to the final, what I thought was the final fight at the bar.
With Judy Greer?
Yeah.
And it's the first time you see the werewolf, sections of the werewolf where it's not CGI. Mm-hmm. And you can see the giant zipper going down its fucking back. That is unexcusable. I'm fucking sorry.
Is it about as unexcusable as ripping off someone's hand and then having them have a hand 2 seconds later?
It's the same fucking director. Just as unexcusable.
I'm saying which one is more unexcusable to you?
I'm really more upset about the werewolf dog. Because
the were-dog.
A dog to werewolf. That's such a lateral move. Why don't you just... It's like... On the full moon, you'll just get angry.
It's almost like Snake.
Yeah.
It's like Snake to Mega Snake.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that at least makes the snake bigger. The dog was barely even bigger at all.
It'd be like if
just give it rabies.
Yeah, it's literally that's what it is. It's just dog rabies, but just
exactly.
It's just a dog rabies, but it only happens a couple days out of the month.
Only when it's that time of the month. Oh God.
There was one part that I think is sort of less of an important me bitching, but it just adds to the why would they fucking do this way, with the whole werewolf outfit with the zipper on it and just terrible CGI everything. There's a scene where Christina Ricci and the chick that ends up being the werewolf villain,
Jigger.
yeah, There's a scene where they're arguing outside of the studio, and she's like bitching at her because she cut somebody from the program or whatever, and it's on a fucking green screen.
Yeah.
What?
Why?
Why would... I just do not understand. Like, they were literally shooting at that exact location 2 seconds ago, and then suddenly it's on a green screen. I know they must have...
It wasn't 2 seconds ago. Probably...
They're like, oh shit, we need to add in this scene, but we no longer have access to this site. Whatever.
Like, it takes a B-roll of this location and
just play it in the background.
We'll throw them on top of it as if they were there.
Yeah.
Because we forgot to shoot this scene.
If that happens, shoot it somewhere. Like, just have them walk up, like, because they walk off together. Walk off the set. Just have them reshoot it somewhere else. It looked fucking terrible.
My biggest issue with that entire scene...
It just took me completely out of the terribleness that was the movie.
My biggest issue with that entire scene was, like, after that huge fight or whatever, where Judy Greer, as the werewolf, was just fucking with them both. Because obviously she could have just ripped their fucking throats out at that point and then just have been done with it.
Yeah, that aggravated the shit out of me.
Well, at least they acknowledged that. At least they acknowledged that, because
like,
she was
you're just playing with us.
Right.
But
the fucking part that killed me was when the cops finally got there, and they were like, "Where's the beast?" or whatever, and she was like, "It's up there. It's this woman, and she's
got fat
ass and
bony
ass and fat thighs and blah blah." And then the werewolf just gets
pops
pissed.
out and flips her off. Jesus Christ! Yeah, that did it for me.
Fuck you, Wes Craven. Fuck you.
I'm really much more upset that they were hot on her ass, but.
Yeah,
you've got a nice ass. Come on.
And the transformation was like, don't even have a werewolf transformation scene if it's going to look like complete shit.
Asshole.
It was all CGI, of course, and it looked so fucking bad. Her face looked. She was instantly bald.
She looked like.
Why would she turn bald?
She looked like.
She has hair, and then she turns into something with hair.
She looked
so
like
of course,
one of
the in between stage would be bald.
Membrane babies from the Matrix.
She looked like all kinds of gross, nasty... Yeah, exactly.
Robert De Niro from Frankenstein.
Yeah, covered in placenta. Okay, yeah, I've just got a long list of shit to bitch about, but I'm not going to even go. There's too many things.
We didn't mention the asshole boyfriend.
Oh, the one that got attacked but nothing happened to him?
Well, that's because they killed the head vampire. Or werewolf. Same thing.
No, I mean, like, in the mirror maze or whatever... Yeah. It shows him just straight get taken out by the God damn it, Dehart.
He would have been a werewolf had...
Okay, that's fine. But they just show him get straight mauled by this werewolf.
Yeah, he runs off into one direction. He goes, okay, you run that way, I'll run this way. And then he runs off screen and he's immediately killed.
And
I mean, we assume he's killed, but really, why would you make that sound? And why would she not have killed him?
And then he comes back and he just has a Band-Aid on his nose.
Yeah. It's like, it's a good thing that whenever that werewolf that weighs 7,000 pounds had backhanded me across the room, and I slammed into a huge mirror and it shattered. Good thing I got my nose slightly cut in the process of all that.
Ow! My nose!
My nose! He couldn't get killed because of the awesome fucking end scene that they had to tack on at the end.
Yeah, because
we will get to
this. He's hot for Eisenberg.
Yeah, turns out he wants in Eisenberg's pants, which is... He's like, it's fine, man. It's cool if you're gay. And it's like, okay, well, that's fine, Wes Craven. I'm glad that you're cool with gay people, and you acknowledge that in your movie. But then at the fucking end, the fucking gay, the gay guy, Peter Petrelli, brings his former girlfriend to his house, basically as like, oh, I found a girl for you to win at the end of this movie. It's like, okay.
Always winning the girl.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, because my boyfriend's now gay, you now assume ownership of me as a sexual object. That's exactly what happens!
Hold on. I think that they were really trying to set up the old three-way connection thing.
The rainbow connection.
It is a rainbow connection.
Peter Petrelli's he's like, hey, if you do, I can get in on this too. Yeah. And you won't ever have to suck this dick, I'll do it.
Eisenberg wants to fuck the lady. The lady still wants to fuck hot guy. Hot guy wants to fuck Eisenberg.
It's like, yeah?
So it's like, you gotta... There's
and now the lady wants to fuck Eisenberg.
That's gonna last like one time. And then she's gonna want to go back to hot.
Okay. I get what you're saying, but that's not what... I wish that's what happened.
That's totally what they're going for.
That would have been the best thing ever, but that's not...
I really think that's what they were leaning towards. They were leaning towards, this is the three-way relationship.
Well, they should have fucking leaned harder. Because what it looked like was, the chick was like, okay, let's make out, because you bought me a Coke for 50 cents one time. Basically,
didn't even know his fucking name. Like
this is
2 days before.
This is something that is in every fucking movie. The guy gets the girl at the end. Whatever. I understand that it's like one of those things that just they keep repeating because for some reason it keeps working. It's whatever. But the fact that it had literally not one goddamn thing to do with the plot, and they, after the movie was over, like that was the end of the movie. I'm sure of it. And they're like, no, wait. We didn't reintroduce the girl at the end and have her kiss Jesse Eisenberg.
Because he needed his trophy.
Yeah,
he needed his. He fucking.
They had
defeated
no
the werewolf,
relationship. Man. It's like they had one scene to introduce the fact that she would know what his dog looked like, and then they had another scene so that he could get called gay some more, and then that's it. That's the extent of their relationship. Yep. She knows that he knows how to WWE wrestle people, and
not
that
anymore.
turns
He
her
lost
on.
his wolf power.
Yeah,
let's go back to the fact
anymore.
Let's go back to the fact that. Did she even fucking know that he was a werewolf, or that there were werewolves?
Knew.
No, she had no clue about any of this.
So,
I mean, unless the gay boyfriend has told her,
right?
It's like, hey, I just totally came from this club.
Werewolves everywhere.
And there's no hold on. There's no way that club is not going out of business.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's basically
I made a note of that
destroyed.
instantly.
But that's I think that's the point Philip's trying to make, is that like she had no knowledge of any of this movie happening whatsoever.
Nothing that happened in the movie had any bearing on her existence, except for the sheer fact that neither did the Peter Petrelli character. Like, why was he in there?
Well, at least he was like.
He was a love interest.
Well, at least he was there during scenes where there were werewolf attacks.
Right, but he didn't have to exist at all. Neither one of them did.
No, they didn't.
Nobody has to exist.
Well, without him there wouldn't be the Teen Wolf 2 part.
Yeah,
but
that's important. I gotta work that in.
Well, I'm sorry that I don't see the necessity in ripping off Teen Wolf 2, Wolf 2, Wolf 2, Wolf 2, Wolf 2,